The first presidential debate occurred on this last Thursday past. It was appalling. Let's start with President Joe Biden. Joe demonstrated that he's long in the tooth. He's processing slower, and he looked frail. He's both. What he remains is a class act. He retains an unshaken resolve to maintain the United States as the last bastion, the last great bastion of liberty and justice for all, as the land of the free and the home of the brave. In stark contrast, Donald Trump relished in flaunting his putridness. He is evil. He vomits bile. He vomits poison. He is a dirty, scorched earth MF. The most damaging thing for the United States of America is Donald Trump. He's vile, evil, a lying, cheating felon. He's a pathologic liar. He's unrepentant. And he's in contempt of everything except his own self-interest. Let's discuss the word contempt. You know it with contempt of court. And obviously during his trial, which was not, he was not found guilty by a judge. He was found guilty by a jury. That becomes very important because we have a constitutional right to jury trial. Because the judges can be fixed. He was tried and found guilty by a jury. And he was found in contempt of court because he won't stop his hostility and his threatening and warmongering. He's in contempt of civility, honesty, integrity, and character. You Trumpsters, I don't get what you see. How you've been poisoned. We'll get back to it, but this is a sick man. Donald Trump was allowed to spew bile and venom. And he denigrated just over and over the United States. Yet we're a third world country and Biden is the worst. When, as Biden did point out clearly, every panel, every research study that has been done and published shows Donald Trump as the single worst, most corrupt president in the history of our great nation. I'm gonna get these off. Hot day. Let's see if we can get them off. We'll continue under the Kangapoda. Okay. So this is always the time where I can remind how lovely and nice it is to have comfortable feet under the covers. The Kangapoda is designed with its ergonomic canopy, and yes, it's a patented invention. We have 5 patents, by the way. Including heated versions and sleeping bags, but the bed is our comfortable place to escape, to wind down the day. We spend a lot of time, we spend about a third of our lives in bed, and we all have televisions in the bedroom, and we're like this, we're watching TV, we're reading, we have remote controls and smartphones, but you're on your back and your toes point up. And certainly I know some of you guys, I can point my toes, I'm a ballerina. For me, even just demonstrating, I'm pointing my toes, okay? And I feel like I'm gonna get a calf cramp. That's why I created Kagapoda, because I didn't like the tension on my toes, and when I fought against the tight covers, it brought about a calf cramp. I never get that anymore. I am very comfortable. Okay. So I was discussing how Trump was allowed to spew bile and venom, and let's use those words again because that's what he did. He's a grotesque person. But he refused to answer questions directly. He would use every opportunity to go back and just say vulgar, grotesque things. As well as, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, under me, this was unbelievable, and now it's terrible, the whole world. I mean, he's full of shit. This man is a sick fuck. I don't understand what you people can't see, why you feel he's a great rallying point, dividing, causing hatred. Oh, for most of us, we were terrorized every day. I can't even listen to his voice without viscerally responding because he is a bad man. This villain is guilty of treason and domestic terror. I personally, because he'll never stop, he'll tear everything down before he'll rally around the country. He's just a bad guy. I think he should be jailed, but I really think he should be executed for capital crimes. I brought him up. I really do. He's relentless. He's sick. What's interesting, and this was very interesting to me, but see how comfortable my feet are? Hard as not, and we've had a lot of this. Biden looked like a deer in the headlights. Here's my theory, at least part of it. Yes, he's the president of the greatest country in the world. And by the way, maybe we should even just stop saying it, because there's other wonderful and strong and powerful, but the United States, in terms of what it stands for, is the greatest country in the world by far. But it's tough to deal with wise-ass, dirty, lying, cheating, vulgar bullies. I hope most of you have never been bullied, never had to deal with it, never had to deal with various persecutions, religious, color, ethnicity. I hope everything has been smooth sailing. I really do. But for those who have had to take on a bully, or your lives were shaped, and by the way, I can't even address now properly, but I understand there's all kinds of internet bullying, and so it's real tough. It throws you off. And there's Joe Biden trying, even though, he knows Donald Trump is an animal, he comes in hoping to play by the rules. And the next thing you know, you're confronted with someone who's just lying about everything, bullying, attacking. The whole thing devolved and was disgusting. But I'll point out, could you imagine someone in Russia or China or Saudi Arabia ever saying any of these things about the leader? That person in Russia, that person would be, he would have mysteriously fallen off of a building. Similar probably in the way that Trump's ex-wife mysteriously fell down a flight of stairs in her home, despite being a wonderful skier and in shape, and died from blunt abdominal trauma. When you're honorable and you play by the rules, it never really registers. It's that there are dirty motherfuckers out there who will stop at nothing. For those of you who felt excited by this demonstration of filth and excrement, shame on all of you. Hitler Jugend, you Hitler, you mostly white trash Hitler youth. I know you're so giddy that your pussy-grabbing thug of an insurrectionist terrorist took liberties with Biden. But instead, you should be looking at this debate as a mirror into your own soul. You Jews who don't want to pay taxes, you churchies who think Trump cares about a national religion, you're lost. Those of you who've been encouraged for being loud, aggressive, boisterous, threatening, Biden comes at everything as being a gentleman. Doesn't mean he can't make hard decisions. We're still processed, by the way. There's always been elders, and certainly the elders can't do what, the young warriors would go do, okay? But the elders had insight and restraint and thoughtfulness and logic. I brought this up before. You conservatives, I'm a conservative. Go look in the mirror. By the way, practice, and then go look in the mirror and tell yourself what you stand for. I'm not a liberal. What's a liberal? The major universities teach liberal arts, humanities, and science and literature and mathematics, and liberal arts is a love of humanism. There's no conservative arts. This is a BS divisional thing. I'm a conservative. Talk to the mirror. What do you stand for? This debate sucked, but sure, it highlighted that Joe is getting old. But what it just doubled and tripled down is Trump is a dirty, filthy piece of dirt. He's not doing anything positive for our country. Domestically or abroad, people look at this and he wants to say we're not respected. Well, look at what he just did. What a shit show. This is Hal Mintz. Comfortable feet, heavy heart. These are tough times. We've got to all stand up and make America great. It's a test. It's a test. We're the United States of America. We're not Hail Hydra, right? Thumbs up for feet up. Thank you.